What's up guys? We are here in beautiful Sabah to attend the 32nd edition of the Borneo Safari. Now, Borneo Safari is an absolutely legendary 4x4 challenge. This year's edition will see over 600 cars entering into the forest, the jungles of Borneo. It's going to be amazing and we are going to be witnessing everything. So in this video, I'm going to be bringing you day-to-day updates of how it feels like, the challenges that we go through. We are going to be, living and going through all the challenges together with the competitors as well. So I brought my bags. I do not know what to expect. We are going to be living in the jungle. It's going to be fun. It's going to be epic. But for now, though, I want to take you for a walk around the starting line over here because there are 600 cars lined up over here. As you can see, they are absolutely monstrous, to say the least. So guys, a quick acknowledgement of our sponsor, then I'll take you for a walk around over here, and then after that I'm going to be updating this video on a day-to-day basis. Really looking forward to it. Let's do this. This video is brought to you by Berjaya Sompo Insurance. Get Sompo Motosafe by Berjaya Sompo. The less you drive, the less you pay. It's that simple. Choose from 3 different mileage plans with affordable premiums to fit your driving needs. Perfect for those who drive occasionally. Plus, enjoy extra perks like unlimited towing, 100% special perils, and all driver coverages. Ready to drive smart and save big? Switch to Sompo Motosafe today. Head over to Berjaya Sompo Insurance and start saving now. This is going to be the car that I'm going to be spending the next couple of days with, the Isuzu D-Max X-Terrain. Now this is a proper hardcore off-roader. It's a relatively new truck. This is the latest edition of the X-Terrain. You can identify it through the new headlights, through the new front end. Well, it's not much of a front end considering that it's almost unrecognizable as an X-Terrain. You get the bumpers, for one, have been upgraded. Now these are proper hardcore bumpers over here that is designed to actually protect the car should it slide into a tree or something. Now we are expecting a lot of mud as we are going through the jungles over here. It's been raining, it's going to be muddy, it's going to be a lot of fun. But everything about this car has been designed and installed for a purpose. You even get a winch and such, which is basically necessary items to survive off-roading here in the jungles of Borneo. Anyway, these bars as well are there to protect it against side impacts. The tires have been upgraded as well. Now you can see that it's purposeful. Everything about here is here for a reason. Now underneath the truck though, underneath here is a 3-liter turbocharged engine. Now this has basically been untouched. This is basically a standard engine, making 190 PS, 400 plus Newton meters of torque. And so in terms of the powertrain of the car, the only thing that has been upgraded is the snorkel. This is to ensure that the engine can continue to breathe as we are off-roading, because we are expecting to cross some rivers and such. So that's what these snorkels are there for. Besides that, the standard Isuzu D-Max X-Terrain has a water wading capability of 800 millimeters. Now this though has been risen. As you can see, the suspension has been upgraded and it's there to actually rise the body of the car. Now this is to give it a better ground clearance, because that's what you want when you're crossing over fallen logs, rocks and such. So everything about this car, this pickup truck, has been upgraded and has been designed to make sure that we can actually survive the next 1 week or so in the jungles of Borneo. This is going to be the exact car that I'm going to be spending the next couple of days with. Really looking forward to it. Yeah, it's going to be fun. guys, it's been a full day of spending some time in this car. We've been on the road. I have no idea in terms of kilometers, but we literally probably did about 7 hours on the road. And we are regrouping over here, and there's going to be a scout that takes us out to our first campsite for the day. So that's why you see a bunch of activity going on over here. You know, this is Abang Lobang. He's our guide, and you know, and so that's what we're going to be doing over here. We're just waiting for everybody to sort of regroup, and very shortly we're going to be hitting the road again to go to our first campsite for the day. They're waiting for us in the car. Let's go. Another day in the car, more time in the car. Let's go. So it's only been an hour and a half since my last update, and from our first regroup point, it's supposed to take about 2 hours for us to reach our campsite. I doubt that's going to happen, because right now, as you can see, all of the cars are parked over here because one member of the group, a member that's driving one of the older pickup trucks, has had an issue with their drive shaft. And the thing about this 4x4 convoy is we leave no man behind. And so we are going to be here until our friend over there fixes his drive shaft. So how long is that going to take? It's anybody's guess right now, but we've already been here about 15 minutes. Sounds like we might be here a while. It's already 6:20 in the evening, and as you can see right here in Sabah, it gets dark quite early. So how long exactly are we going to be here? Not sure. Are we going to make it to the campsite? For sure. What time? I don't know. I'll bring you an update while I'm there. When I get there though, it's 6:20 right now. Let's see what time I get there.
Supaya bakal mereka naik, baru ambil power.
So guys, as you can see, we're still here in the darkness. We are nowhere close to our first base camp. It's midnight on our first day. It's just 12:02 here in the jungles of Borneo, and like I said, we are nowhere near our first base camp, and that's because up just ahead of me is a car that has supposedly, overturned and is blocking the road. I mean, there are people over there that are helping the passengers. I hope everybody's okay. But this is basically the challenges that happen here in Borneo Safari. So how are we dealing with this? Let me just show you. So this is the car that I'm in, and this is also another car. So what we are doing right now is we are setting up dinner. So we have one kitchen here, another kitchen here, and this is basically everybody's just helping out, you know, and this is basically all our supplies over here. I hope you can see this. All our supplies is over here. This is everybody that's together with us.
Yes, we're surviving. Day one.
No problem. And kind of looks yums. So these are the things that are happening on day one here at the Borneo Safari 2024, and this is what makes this challenge so challenging, so to speak. Simply because anything can happen. Anything can happen at any time, and that's basically what is stopping us. We've been on the road for, my brain's fried, hours and hours. It's the last time I spoke to you was, I guess, about 4 something, if I'm not mistaken, and or was it 6 something? And it's basically midnight right now. Now though, I gotta go fill my tummy. Be back with you. Apparently, we're supposed to make it to base camp, to the first camp tonight. I hope we do. Otherwise, sleeping in the car. So guys, it's 4:30 in the morning. We are nowhere close to camp. In fact, we've decided to just set up camp over here en route. And so we're sleeping just right in the middle of the road right now. As you can see, it's all just muddy and such. But this is how it is with Borneo Safari. If you can't make it, you just got to rough it out. So basically that's how we are going to be doing. If you can see, this is the camping bed. There's a bunch of, I'm not going to be alone here. Everybody's going to be sleeping here. There's some that are sleeping at the back. There's some that are sleeping further up front. And so I'm not alone. It's going to be quite something. This is the first time I think I'm sleeping in the wilderness without a tent. Going to be quite awesome. Looking forward to tomorrow. Hope we make it to camp tomorrow. So day 2. Well, day 2 started at 6 o'clock in the morning. If you recall, we set up camp at about 4 plus in the morning. Slept for perhaps an hour. There's a really nice river just about 80 meters away. So took a nice cold bath in the river. Totally back to nature. And now we have our wonderful friends over here setting up breakfast. Thank you, Baki, for this wonderful coffee. And so day 2 is going to be another challenging day. A bunch of challenges up ahead. Some really tough terrains waiting for us. But for now, coffee and breakfast of champions. Then we hit the road.
Dia tarik. Memang dia tak boleh kalau turun tak boleh. Memang kena tarik.
So we are here at day 3 of the 2024 Borneo Safari. I didn't bring you any updates yesterday because it was quite a challenging day. Now, we went through some challenges that seemingly looked very normal, but as we found out, even moving 2 to 3 kilometers can take hours here in the jungles of Sabah. The amount of challenges that we went through was on a different level, but the camaraderie that we saw over here, the teamwork that we saw over here was amazing. This is something that I think people can learn from, even countries can learn from, because it takes all these people over here just to get this train moving, so to speak. It's been challenging, no doubt, but the cars have proven to be more than capable of handling almost anything that has been thrown at them here in the jungles of Sabah. Guys, it's good. Day 3 is promising. It's shaping up to be another challenging day, and I hear that after we reach our next campsite, it's going to get even more challenging. So it's not going to stop. The challenges are going to keep coming, but guess what? The Isuzu D-Max X-Terrain is built for stuff like this, and this is what we are here for, to not only experience the Borneo Safari, the spirit of the Borneo Safari, we are also here to bear witness to the teamwork, to the people that make Borneo Safari work.
You shooting ah?
This is what artists do, you know.
This area in right now, long time, no tamu.
So we are calling it the Baki Express, is it?
No. This area right now, people come down, long time no tamu. But from last night, 3 a.m., you see everybody open shop. My friend, sell noodle. My friend, sell coffee. Everybody here work together. No cash, no QR code, or buku 5-5.
We kira nanti.
That's why you call teamwork at Borneo Safari.
Yeah, that's the spirit of Borneo Safari, and it's going to keep coming. So I'll bring you more updates as we go along. These are all the wonderful kakaks that make all our lovely food here when you seemingly cannot cook, but these kakaks make some magic happen. Dah bawa dah kat sini.
Cepat
What's actually going on over here is that we're actually crossing this really deep ravine. There's a stream down there and there's this path over here, but it's obviously not good for the cars, so they've put down these logs, but as cars are moving along, these logs are beginning to slip, so we need to create some space for the logs to sort of sit on so that they can take the weight of the car as they're passing on. As you can see, it has brought everybody over here. Everybody's playing a role. And again, this is the spirit of Borneo Safari. Lots of challenges, but then again, teamwork makes the dream work.
Quotes of the day. Quotes of the day.
So guys, we are at the end of day 3, and this is the first day that we actually made it to camp. So we've been on the road here at Borneo Safari for the past 3 days, and for the past 2 days we've been sleeping under the stars, literally just putting one of these beds out in the open and just roughing it out and just sleeping it under the stars, which was an amazing experience by itself. But today though, it's taking it to an entirely different experience. I showed you the chuck wagon already. There's a chuck wagon set up over there. Food is not a problem here at Borneo Safari, which is a great thing because the amount of food that is available here, man, the one thing's for sure, you'll never grow hungry. So it's 9 p.m. right now. I think we're probably going to be leaving here really early, 7 or 8 a.m. But for now though, just take a look around, and this is how everybody is just roughing it out today. Everybody's just sleeping this way today, and this is the beauty about Borneo Safari. And I truly just really appreciate this. We have our space. There's a river over there which I obviously can't show you right now because it's pitch dark. If you see, I actually have my head torch over here just to get around because it's so pitch dark over here. And this is, I guess, hardcore off-roading camping, so to speak. Tomorrow though is going to be an even more interesting day because we roughly have between 15 to 18 kilometers to complete, and from what I'm hearing from everybody, tomorrow is going to be even harder than the first 2 days. The first 2 days already just rattled my brain a little bit, but now though, tomorrow it's going to be interesting. Lights out. So guys, day 4. Now this is going to be a super challenging day. We got about 18 kilometers up ahead of us. But as you can see right now, what we are doing is we are preparing the cars for this special stage, because over the past 4 days, the radiator, the intercooler, and basically the whole front end has been filled with mud, and this ultimately will affect the performance of the car, perhaps even lead to overheating, because mud, when it dries up, it tends to solidify around the radiator and all of the internals. So we don't want that. So one of the things over here at Borneo Safari is actually to make sure all of the cars can perform consistently. And the one way to do that is to keep cleaning the cars, and that's what we are about to do right now. And that's what you can see these two guys doing right now. They're just cleaning up the cars. My car is about to come in a couple of minutes after this, and so this is something that all the cars over here you can see. So you can take a look that even these support vehicles, almost every car over here has to be cleaned up, because today is going to be a really challenging day. In fact, not only today, over the next 3 to 4 days, we are expecting some proper drama. So this is something that we have to do. Alright guys, so day 4 has finally started at 3:15 in the afternoon. We have an 18-kilometer drive ahead of us. So just keep in mind that on day 1, day 2, even traveling 2 kilometers can take quite a few hours. So we really have a long day and a long drive ahead of us. I'm sitting in the passenger seat. In fact, I've spent almost all of my time most of my time actually in the back seat, and today is the first time I'm sitting at the front actually. But why haven't I been driving? Well, Borneo Safari is a very different type of challenge, and you know, we are in places where we absolutely cannot be rescued should anything go wrong. So what the organizers have done is that they have allocated professional drivers such as Abang Firdaus over here. So Abang Firdaus is driving us today, and then yesterday was Abang Max, and 2 days before that was Abang Lobang. So all professional drivers and all know what they're doing. So I really do not want to be put into a situation where I get caught out, you know, I damage the car, worst off I break a drive shaft, or something and be responsible for stuff like that, where we absolutely cannot be rescued because there is no chance of getting spare parts in here, and I don't want to be the idiot that caused something like that. So I would rather be in the passenger seat rather than in the driver's seat. So if I get a chance later, I might, but for now though, I prefer being in the passenger seat. But being in the passenger seat does not mean that it's just a very relaxed drive. We still have to get down and help the driver, become spotters, help the drivers out in certain situations. And these are the challenges that come with Borneo Safari, and I'm completely okay with that actually. So I'll keep you updated along the way. We are only halfway through Borneo Safari. Still have another 4 days to go. Mega. So day 5, quick update. We didn't really get very far yesterday simply because we took some time to leave our camp because we were repairing some of the cars that needed to be repaired. And so we found a brilliant place to sort of camp along the way. And again, fantastic experience and all. We have a beautiful river down this walkway over here. And as you can see, everybody's just having breakfast. We are leaving probably in about 20 minutes. This is a bunch of things that we need to chuck into this car shortly. And today though, is going to be a long day. Simply because we are leaving earlier than usual. We need to make up for lost time from yesterday. And again, mega obstacles along the way. This route that we are on, this is known as the SS stage, the special stage. This is the stage where the competitors from the Borneo Safari actually use. Now we are basically trailing the competitors and sort of just experiencing everything that they experience as well. Now I asked one of the drivers yesterday how he would describe this road. His simple answer, hardcore. That's what is waiting for us up ahead. I'll bring you the highlights from up ahead shortly. So guys, what we are seeing over here is basically another obstacle here in day 5, and it's a whole lot of mud and incline right after that. So this is an example of what happens when you need to challenge, when you need to get past this kind of obstacles. So what you need to do is you obviously need to use a winch, right? So from there on, you need to find an anchor point for that winch. So that anchor point can either be a tree or another car to pull the car that needs to get past the obstacle out of that situation. Challenging for sure, but as usual, a lot of teamwork. So guys, the end of day 5, relatively easy day as compared to what we endured in the first 3 days here at the Borneo Safari 2024 together with Isuzu. Today though is rather interesting because for the first time, we are actually not for the first time, we've actually endured this for the past couple of nights as well. We are sleeping deep in the jungle where we are just going to set up an impromptu camp and just sort of call it a night here in the middle of the jungle. I mean, there are plenty of torchlights and I can't really show you how dark it is. Maybe I can show you right now. Just besides the lights, the artificial lights that you're seeing, it is pitch dark in here. Seriously, this is what they call a secondary forest and a secondary jungle actually. And this is the real deal, guys. It's seriously deep in the jungles of Borneo. We are setting up an impromptu camp. It's going to be fun for sure. Tomorrow though, we are getting closer and closer to our final destination, which is KK obviously. And yeah, that's all I got to update for today. As I said, relatively easy day as compared to what we endured every other day. And the river though is about 300 meters down there. So roughly about a 600-meter walk to go, freshen myself up and come back here to call it a night. So I hope tomorrow is a better day. But anyway, that's the thing about the Borneo Safari. Challenges come in all shapes and forms. Today, relatively easy day, a couple of V gullies, a lot of mud, a lot of playing with mud. And today, for the first time throughout our journey, it actually rained. And that means that everywhere, everything is just muddy. It's just on a different level. I've never taken a mud bath before, but I think I'm getting closer and closer to that reality. Anyway guys, day 6 tomorrow. I'll bring you more updates then. Day 6. Last night was particularly interesting because we saw insects that look like they belong on another planet. Centipedes, the size, longer than the size of my palm, and God knows how much I hate centipedes. Anyway, it was an interesting night. Fun, no doubt, and the fun continues today as we continue on our path here at the 2024 Borneo Safari. So we are 2 days away from the end of our epic trip. Today though is going to be particularly interesting because for the first time in 6 days, I'm getting a chance to drive, and I'm driving the latest generation Isuzu D-Max X-Terrain. I'll bring you updates from inside the car shortly, but we're about to hit the road. So I'll bring you some impressions and some updates about how the car feels like and what makes it so capable on roads like this. Let's go. So we are on the way to our campsite for day 6, and sharing the car with me is Abang Masri over here, together with this gentleman from Motocar, Ariwan and Shah. Do check out their channel at MOTOQAR, Motocar, for some awesome Bahasa content. Anyway, driving the D-Max X-Terrain, well, it's sort of a revelation of sorts because when we drive this car in the streets of KL, you don't really get to experience the full capability of what the D-Max is, well, capable of. Now, the latest generation D-Max has been updated with an awesome new feature called Terrain Mode. This is something that Isuzu Malaysia was quite keen to highlight when they launched the car. And what this rough terrain mode actually does is that it sends power to individual wheels rather than from axle to axle. So this allows the car to sort of pull itself out of, well, sticky situations. So you see, when you're stuck in certain situations, you want power to go to individual wheels. For example, if you are stuck and 3 wheels are stuck and 1 wheel has traction, with rough terrain mode, it can send power to that 1 wheel, and that can pull you out of that situation. And that's what we've been experiencing here at the Borneo Safari. And that's what makes this D-Max X-Terrain so well adapted to conditions like this. Now, like I said, you will not be able to sort of experience these systems or, you know, the robustness of the D-Max X-Terrain on regular roads. But it's actually quite nice to know that when the going gets tough, the D-Max X-Terrain is more than capable of handling everything that the roads throw at it. And that's just testament to what the D-Max X-Terrain is capable of. Anyway, we are heading to our campsite to sort of cap off day 6. We got 2 more days over here in the jungles of Borneo, and it's been an amazing trip. Right now, I got to concentrate on what's up ahead of me because, yeah, I'm going to turn the camera around to let you see. Unfortunately, guys, one of the realities of Borneo Safari is that when it rains and you're out camping, this is the stuff that happens.
But everybody smiling.
We're enjoying ourselves. It's part of the challenges that happens here at Borneo Safari. So guys, the final day of the 2024 Borneo Safari with Isuzu Malaysia. I feel kind of bittersweet about it because it was an experience that I've never, experienced in my 42 years of life. I never thought that I could push myself to such, I guess I can call it extremes. On the first night, we were stuck in mud and we just had to make camp wherever we were, and that meant sleeping by the roadside. It wasn't much of a road actually, it was just gravel road. We just put out our camp baits and just slept under the stars, and guess what? We did it next to elephant dungs, and that just goes to show that how healthy the Borneo jungle actually is. It's just wow. You have to enter the jungle to just sort of experience what it has to offer. I'm very grateful to Isuzu Malaysia as well to offer me to experience such a thing. Will I come back? Yes, I will definitely come back. This year I missed Diwali with my family just to be here at Borneo Safari, and my family may not like me for saying this, but I have no regrets because, again, I've done stuff that I never thought I could do. So what did I learn by joining the Borneo Safari? I learned that the human spirit is simply indomitable. It's just, the car was stuck in mud that were literally this high. The car was literally in mud, and it was just, when you look at it, you thought that the car was stuck forever. It was stuck for good. But these people over here, the team with us, they can do wonders, and this is in the middle of the jungle. There is no chance of rescue, and yet they managed to pull these cars out of there, and these are big, heavy things. Obviously, it is not your typical standard Isuzu D-Max X-Terrain. It's obviously been lifted. It has all this protection, it has snorkels, it has bigger wheels. Everything about this D-Max that you are seeing behind me has been designed to tackle, basically every obstacle that you can throw at it. Then the second thing that I learned was the D-Max X-Terrain is actually a really capable machine. Now, every time we review pickup trucks back in KL, we are doing it over roads, over regular tarred roads. Perhaps we might go to some plantations or something, but that is not enough to actually show you what the car can actually do. So by joining the 2024 Borneo Safari, I actually kind of have more respect for the X-Terrain because it's such a awesome vehicle. That powertrain, wow, it can pull itself out of such certain situations. It is basically indestructible, and that is why I have such a huge amount of respect for the X-Terrain now. And then the other thing that I actually learned by joining the Borneo Safari is that the challenge itself, the Borneo Safari challenge itself is just on a different level. Now, there's a very good reason that the Borneo Safari is ranked among the top 40 most difficult off-road challenges in the world. Top 40, guys, in the world. That means it is really serious business. So the amount of organization behind it, the amount of teamwork behind it, the amount of people that are behind Borneo Safari is just on a level that you cannot actually imagine unless you join Borneo Safari. And guess what? You can actually join Borneo Safari. Even though you don't have a 4x4, you can actually join Borneo Safari by becoming one of the tag-on participants. So you can experience all the challenges, you can experience everything, and that is something that I highly recommend to do if you are actually into such things. And another thing that I learned is that we call them 4x4 kakis, you know, there's 4x4 enthusiasts. We KL people, we drive fast on track, we are always stuck in traffic, you know, we think that our machines are amazing. But guess what, guys? These 4x4 enthusiasts, they are huge fans as well. They're huge enthusiasts as well. It's just that they appreciate different things. These things, some of the machines that we see over here, they may look old, but they are really, really expensive. A typical winch, something called a God winch, can cost somewhere between 20 to 40,000 ringgit. Just a winch. That's not talking about the suspension, that's not talking about some of the bodywork, that's not even talking about some of these comforts that you can install in a car. So these 4x4 enthusiasts, yeah, they definitely are on par or on a different level as compared to some motorsports fans and such. I grew up actually wanting to one day actually join Camel Trophy. And I think I've achieved that dream by joining Borneo Safari simply because of what I've experienced over here. I've taken a bath in the rivers of Sabah at 10 o'clock at night. I've done stuff that I cannot say on camera as well, simply because it's quite not something that I want to share. But I have to take my hat off to the organizers here, the team behind Borneo Safari, as well as the team at Isuzu Malaysia, because there are a couple of things that I really appreciate. We never ran out of good food, not just food, but good food. Everywhere we went, there was always great food to be had. Will I join it again? In a heartbeat, for sure. You know, it's just such an amazing experience. I'm looking forward to the comforts of a hotel, especially a nice warm bath, a dry fluffy towel, a comforter, a warm bed. These are certain comforts that I guess that I've taken for granted. Even running water, because sometimes when you need water, you have to walk all the way down to the river. And I just had a huge amount of fun. Anyway, we are heading back to KK shortly. And tonight though, there is going to be a gala dinner. I might bring you some highlights from there, depending on how the situation is. If it's not too noisy, I might bring you some highlights from the dinner. If I don't, thank you for watching, guys. As usual, do consider subscribing.
Kepada Tuan Terutama Tun,
a 2,000 kilometer journey using the just 1,000 yuan.